Did all the drones blow themselves up now too? Oh, no, no, they didn't. No, no. All right, we're gonna just fix the tire, and then we might need to fix the engine. You serious? What's up, guys? My name is Khan, and we're back today with more Scrap Mechanic, and today we're looking at another awesome thing you can do with the explosive and ball spawner objects, and that is, of course, make awesome delivery drones. So after the last infinite ammo turret video, a lot of people in the comments were saying, Khan, you have to make some sort of a bomber or something that can, you know, drop infinite explosives while tracking a player. So I have made GPS delivery drones in the past, but these are not GPS delivery at all. They are 100% player tracking drones. So they'll follow a player around, and this one here will actually drop balls while this one will drop explosives. Now, there is a little bit of an issue that happens when you try and deal with these sort of spawning devices, and that is that the spawners don't like moving while they're spawning objects. So one of the problems you might have noticed in the infinite turret video is that sometimes the turrets would just happen to explode for what seemed like no reason. And while there actually was a completely logical reason for it, and it's because the spawner was moving. And of course, I kind of ran into the same issue with these drones, and I'll explain in a little bit. But first, we'll take a look at just how these drones work, and they're really, you know, they're not too complicated. I mean, there's a lot of logic, but they're very similar to the GPS drone. So, of course, we started by making a ball spawning one, and that's this one here with a single ball spawner on the bottom, just so that, you know, we didn't blow ourselves up when we were trying to do it. So we can put down a polygon block seat here, and we can connect that to the on switch just so we can see what's going on. And if we sit on this seat, it's quite lovely, but we can sit on this seat here, and if we press 1, it'll activate. Right now, there's no other players on the map, and the drone is set to track us. It does use an AI block from the Intelligentsia mod, so if we get up on top here, and we press E on this particular blue block here, we can actually add ourselves to the exception list and have it not track us. So you could have specific drones tracking one person and other drones tracking a completely different person, or you could, you know, hit E on this if you have friends on the map, and then it'll go track your friends right away. And it's got this 1000 written here. And really simply, you can change the height that you want the drone to hover at. So if we press this button here, we can change that height to 1100. We can, of course, paint this button a different color and change that value again, just using the mod pack number logic. And the drone will try and hover at this height. So the way it works is really simple. It will fly up to that height while tracking the player. Once it gets to that height, it will start dropping the packages, but only if the player is close to the actual base of it. If the height is set to 1000, then it's only going to drop bombs if the player is within, I believe, 1050 blocks. So it tries to check how close the player is to make sure that it's not just dropping anywhere on the map. It's only dropping when there's a player technically right below it, although it's really a circular distance, if that makes any sense. So it's trying to basically line up on top of the player. Now we're sitting on top of it, so of course it's going to start spawning right away once we get up to 1000 height. And you can see it's trying to move towards us because we're on the one side of the tracker. If we get out here and, oh, if we fall, oh, perfect. This is great. That's... Well, if we run over here, it should try and move back towards us this way. It's not exactly what I was hoping. Oh boy, it's gonna, there it goes. It's gonna drop just a ton of balls. We're gonna litter the map so quickly. All right, so if we get far enough away from it, it should actually stop spawning them because we'll be out of that range. No, we're still too close to it. All right, you know what? Let's just take this mini scooter and we'll try and catch it here. So it uses a detection algorithm basically to say if I'm close enough to the player within a certain distance plus my height, then I can actually, hello, can I, excuse me, I was trying to do a demo here, and then you kind of screwed it up. All right, here we go, we'll get off. Perfect. Oh, no, 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 no. Awesome, that's so great. You done? You done? No? The problem, and you might notice it right now, we can stand in one particular spot, and it's not ever going to actually hit us dead on in this spot. And the reason why is the ball spawner itself. All right, so we made it back onto the seat here, and we've kind of littered half the map. It's a little bit of a problem. We might need a new map. But before we crash the world, you can kind of see a little bit what's happening here. You might notice it's very, very difficult to see, but the whole craft is kind of tilted slightly. It's at a very slight angle. Every time a ball spawns, it kind of throws the craft off slightly, and it takes a while for the craft to recenter back to 0. And so what's happening is the block that's sort of tracking the player is trying to line up with the player, but because the craft itself is not completely vertical and it's at a little bit of an angle, it's actually sort of not lining up correctly. This was the problem with the turret. And actually, every time we were using the turret, when it would explode on itself, it's because it was moving up or down while spawning the explosive, and it would actually hit its own explosive. So you got to make sure the drone itself doesn't move in the direction that you're actually spawning the object. And of course, the problem with this drone is as you move up and down, it's actually sort of hitting the ball. And as you move down with gravity into the ball that you're spawning, the ball kind of sends the whole drone a little bit off course and kind of causes a bit of a problem. All right, so we've spawned in on a new map just to avoid all that bone-crunching lag caused by, you know, way too many balls being spawned. I'm not going to upload the ball spawning drone to the workshop. It's a cool prototype, but really it was just to sort of test the concept, make sure all the drone controls worked, and not blow itself up in the process because, you know, once we get the explosives, it's kind of a one deal sort of thing. There are really only two things I would improve with this block if I could. One would be to get rid of this sort of spawning cooldown. You know, there's a little bit of a cooldown when you press it. It would be nice if it responded instantly to a logic connection. I know that would get super, super laggy if you fed it like a constant connection. It would just respawn over and over and over again. And I think that's why there's a fixed cooldown. Because if you had this at like 1 tick, for example, you'd spawn 40 balls per second and it would just be way too much. I think it would explode the game. So I kind of understand why the cooldown's there, but it would be nice if it responded instantly rather than, you know, having the cooldown kind of before, have the cooldown after it spawns or something. I'm not sure. And then of course the other thing is have the object actually spawn off the spawner. They seem to always spawn right at the surface of the spawner, and that seems to cause issues with the drone, you know, the ball drone. It just kind of always pushes the ball drone on a slight angle and it doesn't keep it straight. So of course, with the explosive drone, I kind of changed things up and made it just a little bit better. So this drone, it goes a lot faster than the ball drone one, and it's more of an explosive bomber. It still tracks a player, but it kind of goes so fast, it goes flying past the player position and drops a whole stream of explosives while it does it, and then turns around and comes flying back. Like all the drones I've done, this drone always keeps itself pointed straight north, so it does use a compass, and if we actually take it and rotate, you can see it actually activates those thrusters right away to try and align itself back to north. And it doesn't matter if we launch it this way, of course, it'll just align itself back to north. Just like with the ball drone, we can jump up on top here and hit this button if we want to change the height it flies at. And just like the ball drone, we can come up here and press E on this if we want to add ourselves to the exception list for this drone. But really, really cool stuff. And it spawns up to 4 TNT blocks at the same time. So it works on the same principle. Use the Intelligentsia mod and that AI block to kind of push itself in the right direction, but it's a lot faster and it doesn't spawn the explosive in the directions it's moving. So if these thrusters on this side are on, it means the drone is moving in this direction, which means it won't spawn this explosive here. And that's just to make sure that the explosive doesn't accidentally spawn into the creation itself and blow up the whole creation. So sometimes if you're really, really lucky, this creation can blow itself up by spawning too many explosives and kind of causing an issue. But most of the time, because it doesn't spawn explosives in the direction it's moving, it doesn't seem to blow itself up. So we can, of course, launch this. It'll go up to 1,000 blocks in height, and it'll rotate, and it'll keep itself north aligned. It's not really a big deal once it's north aligned. Now, it moves very, very quick, you can see. So it is aligning itself with us, and it'll start doing some sort of bomb runs. We can actually just move. Let's get into this pit over here. So, of course, it has to get up to 1,000 blocks in height, or whatever height you set it. It won't drop a single explosive until it gets there. And then, of course, it's only going to drop explosives when it's close to us. So you can see it's just dropping a whole ton of them. This thing is absolutely insane. It drops so many. I need to turn off camera shake. This is going to be very nauseating with camera shake. It gets kind of ridiculous. So it's coming back now. And you can see it'll actually kind of take a break. If we get too far away from it, it'll actually stop dropping them and then continue to drop them. And just, it sort of just drops a giant slew of bombs, and it just keeps going back and forth. So it's not exactly the most accurate thing. I made a super accurate version that moves a lot slower, but I wanted this one to kind of be able to chase people. We should be able to drive around this track and outrun the bombs. I don't think it's fast enough to keep up with this vehicle at full speed, but let's just try it anyways and see what happens. Of course, it is just sort of like a mayhem type device, and you just launch them and see. I mean, they're kind of, no, it's way behind, right? I mean, it's moving. You can see it's moving. We're out of range now, so the bombs have stopped dropping. Like I said, it doesn't drop them constantly, only when it's close enough to the player. And there you go. You can see it starts dropping them again. But we are much, much faster than this thing. You can see it's a very, very slow drone. I feel like we could launch more of them. So here's another one. Of course, we can launch them at any angle we want. It doesn't really matter. They'll automatically kind of level themselves out. There's another one there. So that's 2. Hopefully they don't bomb themselves. That's the only thing. They might accidentally bump into each other. Let's just get over here. All right, and then what we'll do is we'll slow down the engines on this and see just how fast those things actually can go and keep up. They're definitely a nuisance device, that's for sure. Unleash a bunch of these on the map and just let them go haywire. I can't even tell where they are. There's also the issue, too, with the fact that they're trying to target us, but they're also 1,000 blocks up. So as we move, the bombs are falling every time where we were, not where we're going to be. It's like the reign of terror. I feel like we could sit in this one spot. It's going to take them a while to actually hit us, especially at 1,000 blocks in height. I mean, it looks... Are they... I can't even tell. Oh, there's one. That's a hit. Oh, there's another. It definitely looks super cool to watch them fly like that. I want to launch more. All right. We've got a super small car with a super slow engine. Here we go. This is going to be it. Can we outrun? Are there only 3 drones now? What happened to the 4th? Did you guys blow up the 4th? Oh, yeah, I think you guys blew up the 4th. There's the wrecked carcass of the 4th. All right. 2 of them are bumping into each other. I feel like they're going to both blow up. See, look, even like this, we're faster than the car. So, of course, the problem I ran into is I think the drone might need an infinite stabilizer or something. If you go too quick, then it'll actually just flip the drone, right? Because the drone has to use gravity to naturally balance itself, and it just kind of uses like a weighted bottom to keep itself upright. And if we have it going too fast, then they never actually can, move towards the target. They kind of always just flip. But I guess the solution would be to put an infinite stabilizer on it, and that way they could track the target with perfect accuracy. But of course, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I think they're a lot of fun, and it would definitely be a lot of fun to try and outrun these in some sort of a crazy race. Maybe put a stabilizer on them would help. Oh, it blew up one tire. I couldn't figure out why we weren't moving anymore very quickly. We don't have a tire here. Hold on. Did all the drones blow themselves up now too? Oh, no, they didn't. No. All right, we're gonna just fix the tire, and then we might need to fix the engine. You serious? So good. And of course, these things will go forever. But of course, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I think it would be cool to do a few improvements to this. I feel like I could put an infinite stabilizer on this drone to make it, have perfect accuracy and follow you super, super quickly. Obviously, right now, part of the problem is still speed. They go pretty quick, and they'll... Uh-oh. We're high-centered here. Hold on. Back up. Back up. We're good. But yeah, they go pretty quick, and they're pretty decent drones. I feel like the problem is, though, you can outrun them very, very quickly. And if you had a friend who was building a base or something, or trying to build a vehicle, it'd be absolutely hilarious because all these explosives would just start dropping all around them. But if you're just, trying to outrun them in a car, I feel like as long as you keep moving, you can see, even with this painfully slow car, they're just following us, but I don't think they'll ever catch us. So, of course, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What would be the next step for this drone? Maybe we should do it with, like, a zero gravity block and just have it a lot easier. Or we could, just make something that actually crawls across the skybox even and just spawns objects that way. It is more of an inaccurate artillery, though, to be honest, rather than a super accurate homing missile type thing. But, of course, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And while you're at it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see y'all next time.